twice, but he did suffer 2 gunshot wounds. So there were some accounts that maybe he was murdered rather than committed suicide. And I have a video that I'm going to show you before we're done here, not today, but before we're done, that kind of talks about that possible conspiracy, because he did have some enemies. So to this day, we don't really know if it was murder or suicide, but it more goes into the history books as suicide. But I don't know how you do that. Okay? William Clark, on the other hand, had a much more positive life after the Corps of Discovery. Immediately after getting back, President Jefferson, remember he was a military man, right? President Jefferson promoted him to Brigadier General. He promoted him to Brigadier General, which was a high promotion. Okay, he promoted him to Brigadier General. After Jefferson left office and President James Madison was elected, in 1813, he appointed Clark as governor of the Missouri Territory. So in 1813, when James Madison became President of the United States, he appointed William Clark as governor of the Missouri Territory. And he was very successful in administering that territory. Well, during the time he was serving as governor of Missouri Territory, he decided to take all of those journals that he and Lewis wrote during the Corps of Discovery and publish them into books. And these were done well before. These are early 1900 editions, but this is what they look like. These are the journals of the expedition, Lewis and Clark, Volume 1, Volume 2. You can still buy them today. If you got on Amazon or eBay, you could buy them. They're that popular, people still read them. And of course, unfortunately for Lewis, Clark made some money on this deal. But he didn't do it mean-spirited. He felt they should be out there for people to see. Well, after his return from the Corps of Discovery, William Clark married and had 10 children. One more than the Pages.
For now.
Well, that's an issue too. I'm trying to talk Mr. Page into it. Now, does anybody want to guess in here what Clark named his firstborn son?
Mary.
Close.
The Baptist guy.
No, you were closer. First
Mary.
Meriwether Lewis Clark.
Oh.
That was his name. Meriwether was his first name,
That was right.
Lewis was his middle name, and Clark was his last name, as a tribute to his friend, Meriwether Lewis. Now the story even gets more touching in my mind, because marriages weren't the same in that. You think old Toussaint Charbonneau was a good man to be married to? Hell, he had 2 wives. Well, unfortunately, Sacagawea had an untimely death in 1812. She died in 1812. As a result of that, Clark adopted Pompey and her daughter Lisette, L-I-S-E-T-T. So after Sacagawea's untimely death in 1812, William Clark adopted Pompey, and she had also had another daughter by the name of Lisette, L-I-S-E-T-T, and he adopted both children and raised them. Unfortunately, Lisette died at a young age also. So whatever became of Jean-Baptiste or Pompey, he eventually became a skilled interpreter and a very skilled scout, working in the Western Mountains for different individuals and groups. So Pompey became a very skilled interpreter and a very skilled scout, and worked in the Western Mountains, which would be the Rocky Mountains, for different individuals and organizations. He eventually died in Oregon at the age of 61. That was a pretty good amount of time to live. Thank God it's not today, since I'm right there. Died at the age of 61 in Oregon. What became of William Clark? He also lived a very good life. He died on September 1st, 1838. September 1st of 1838, at the age of 77. Clark dies on September 1st, 1838, at the age of 77. Okay, what I'm going to do now, just so you kind of get an idea where we're going here, I want you to keep your notes out because I'm going to show you a couple of videos. I'm going to show you a very short video on Pompey's Pillar, and then we're going to start a 40-minute video today on the Lewis and Clark expedition. I'm going to want you to think, because probably on your test, which you're going to have next Tuesday, I might say, name 3 things that were on the video that I didn't tell you about the Lewis and Clark expedition. Now here's how things are going to work. The review for your test is already on the website. And I made a new tab, it's at the bottom on the left that says AP US History 1 Test Review. And if you go on that, you'll have the review you need. Monday we'll reiterate that. It just gives you a chance, I like that, to go on there a little early and get yourself prepared, especially if you're going to be gone or whatever. So that's what we're going to do. We'll review Monday and test Tuesday. We will start these videos today and we will finish these videos tomorrow. But write down some things that I didn't tell you, okay? And I think they'll be beneficial.